Hey guys, Grumpy here with another episode of Long Haul. So at the end of the previous episode, we did two bounties, and we also found a research station. We didn't get much in the way of resources, but we got a ton of really good weapons, blueprints, and hull mods. So now that we have a couple more credits to our name, we're gonna go ahead and tailor a cost-effective exploration fleet. Go over the things that we need, and then by the end of the episode, we should be able to start exploring successfully. So, in this episode, the building the fleet is going to be the focus. So let's go over a couple things that we need. First of all, we need a vessel to carry all the resources that we find out there. That's going to be our Atlas. We were very lucky to get this early on, so that's a plus. You can also use Colossus. I wouldn't go down to a Buffalo because it just doesn't have enough carrying capacity. I would wait until you can get Colossus and then start exploring. But ideally, you want Atlas because it's the most fuel effective for the amount of cargo space it gives you. Then you're going to want something with surveying equipment. Surveying equipment is so incredibly important. What it does is it reduces the amount of supply and heavy machinery costs when you conduct a survey. It stacks down to a minimum of 5, so you can never get zero cost. But you can reduce the cost of like surveying gas giants, which cost the most, from 300 down to like 5, which is huge. The heavy machinery cost is whatever, but the most important thing is supplies. Um, the less you spend on supplies, one, the more money you make, but two, the less likely you are to risk being stranded in space with no supplies. If you run out of fuel in space, it's whatever. You can be rescued, get more fuel, come back home. But if you run out of supplies, you have to start cannibalizing your ships, which is not fun. You're going to lose a lot of very valuable ships and a lot of very valuable resources. So you need a couple sources of surveying equipment. What I like to do is, because it's based on the size of your ship, is once I start getting multiple atlases, I will just put surveying equipment on my atlases, get that full 40 reduction, and then you only need about 5 atlases or 4 atlases to make it feel comfortable. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and target. And then we're finally gonna need a Phaeton, or well, a Dram or a Phaeton. Ideally, we probably want a Phaeton just because again it goes into fuel efficiency. For the amount of fuel capacity you get per fuel it burns, you probably do want a Phaeton. But a Dram will probably do at the very beginning, and then we can look to upgrade it later. So let's go ahead and put some of these ships back while we do our shopping. We can we'll we'll keep these ships. That's fine. So let's go ahead and check out Marioth, see if they have any drams. We'll buy Phantom Missile Rex. Let's see if they have any drams, salvage rigs, anything like that for sale. We get a dram. Okay. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and buy some fuel. We could wait until we get to Nachiketa and then buy it. Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and drop this off. Let's head over to Port Say, see if they have any salvage rigs. Let's see. They do not. They do have a Phaeton, which is nice. Again, it goes at fuel efficiency. At 35k though, it's a bit expensive, so we'll pass on it for now. But after we finish our first exploration, we'll probably have enough. So head over to Western East. When I'm looking to buy ships, what I want to do is go to the systems with the most planets available, because that gives us access to the most markets. Let's go ahead and jump out of here. Turn off our transponder, and then stay and burn. old habits, keeping the transponder off. So let's check out these markets, see what they have. We're also looking for that survey equipment hull mod. So hopefully it shows up. It's not here. Let's check fleets. There's an interesting idea. So you do want a combat contingency to your exploration fleet, because sometimes you do just run into enemies while exploring. A monitor is a very efficient ship. It's in small engagements, it's basically immortal, and in larger engagement, it buys you incredible amount of time. For 30K, it's a little expensive, but I think it's worth it. I don't care about the demods. Eventually, we'll clean off all the ships we do get. So yeah, we'll buy it. It's just a really efficient ship. Right. But they don't have any salvage rigs, so we keep exploring. Stabilized shields. Missile autoloader. Sunder. Okay, here's the salvage rig. Ideally, you want it with a couple demods so it's cheaper, but we'll pick up one for now. And I think we're good. We'll check Sudani and Almar. Not enough crew. Ooh, you have a lot of cheap crew. We'll go ahead and buy these now. Also pick up a little fuel over here. We are still checking the markets for those hull mods, the survey equipment hull mod. So let's see. Expanded magazine, missile autoloader. Something to keep in mind, we'll buy this expanded magazine and shield trap. These hull mods repeat, so in order to get rid of them, you have to buy them, which eliminates them from appearing in the next market you check. Oh, here we go. Survey equipment, nice. So we definitely want this, and we want to make sure that we have it on our atlas and all of our large vessels. Is there anything we want to buy? Not particularly. So let's go ahead, head home. And let's build our ships up. Okay, and then this is important. This is going to inform where we go for exploration. So when you're exploring, you want to pick up missions that are in the same direction. And you can check what their requirements are over here on the right. So this one requires 100 crew, 20 heavy machinery, 30 supplies. So we are going to accept those 3 missions. Missions. We'll accept these 3 missions just because they're in the same direction. So we'll accept this. We'll accept this. And we'll accept this. And the reason you want to accept all of them in the same area is just for fuel efficiency. It doesn't make sense to go down here, then over here, then up here, right? You want to just head here, here, and then come back, drop off all your resources, and then maybe head off in a different direction and come back home. Same thing with bounties. If we get any notifications of bounties in that area, then we'll accept those as well. Alright. And let's head over here. And let's start to refit our ship. Nope. On the side of the system, so we don't want to take that one. And let's go ahead and begin. So we don't want to take the small ships with us. It's kind of a waste of time. We will just take these 3 combat vessels. We will pilot the Apogee. And let's go ahead and start arming ourselves. So we did get a high intensity laser, which was really nice. That's going to kind of dictate how we build the ship. This being a hard point and being high explosive means that we probably want to support it with some kinetic. When we can. Obviously, energy weapons have the energy type. Not all. There is one kinetic energy weapon, the graviton beam, which I definitely don't recommend. And we'll take an ion cannon. So it's a little awkward because our high intensity laser has a range of 1,000, and then the pulse laser ion cannon have a range of 500, 600. But we'll make it work. On the side of the ship, probably just want some point defense. And then as far as missiles go, there's not very many great choices. Not a fan of the pylum, but we'll look to replace that as soon as we can. Then on the sides, we probably just want more PD. I was thinking of making this like a second broadside, but I don't think that'll work. So we'll just put PD all around. And we'll call that our ship. We'll go ahead and put our brand new survey equipment. We have to be docked for this, but we'll put survey equipment on there. And then dedicated targeting core to give us even more range. And op center. Probably don't need that. Heavy armor. And I think that's pretty good. Just crank up our vents. Make sure our flux dissipation exceeds our weapon flux, and then the rest we'll put in capacity. And we'll call that a day. Actually, we'll look to add in expanded cargo holds. The monitor, safety overrides, and where you at? Hardened subsystems, and then max vents. And in case you haven't seen this before, run a simulation. The monitor has a special ability called Fortress Shield, which reduces the amount of damage that its shield takes by 90%. While it's active. The monitor also has an ability that allows it to dissipate hard flux while its shield is up, which is unique to the monitor. So basically what it means is while its shield is up, it's basically dumping flux, which makes it a great sponge and a wonderful something that can conduct harassment. So it can tank this Sunder, which is one of like the highest DPS ships in the game, especially with its autocannon builds. And this is no problem. Yep. Those are sabos, which are kinetic missiles, and doesn't even do anything to it. So for that reason, we're gonna want the monitor. Now, the last two hull mods that you're looking for the monitor is either extended shields, or actually I guess it has to be extended shields now, because shield conversion in front I don't think gives shield arc anymore with the change. So you probably want extended shield, and then you want hardened shield so you can make your shield even more durable. Alright, and then you are pretty useless. We're gonna go ahead and dock and put on our logistics mods. So we don't need berthing. We need expanded cargo holds. Actually, sorry. Expanded cargo holds and Survey equipment. Where you at? Survey equipment and guess that's it. You're fine, you're fine. And then let's go ahead and lower our bench just a little bit, just enough so that we get expanded cargo holds as well. Nah, that doesn't really make sense. We don't need that. All right, this is a big boy. It has more than enough room. Right, let's go ahead and buy the crew that we need. We do want to buy up to 300, so we have 300 crew. It's usually around the magic number. Actually, turns out we need more crew than that anyway. We want to buy the fuel up, and then we want to buy a healthy supply of supplies. And then the last thing that we need is going to be our heavy machinery. So let's go ahead and grab some of that, as well as a little more fuel, and we'll grab our dram. And then let's head over to Kulan and buy about 100 heavy machinery. And then something we might want to look into is, if we have enough, getting an officer in our ship. That's heading backwards. We won't accept that. Yeah, let's head over here. Alright, and then let's head over to Kalan. Oh. Well, they were at a discount. I guess not anymore. Go ahead, buy 100, and then that doesn't leave us with much else. So what we'll do is we'll spend the rest of our resources on supplies. Check our range. Let's see. Oh, also, fuel tanks and survey equipment. Check our fuel range. That's plenty. No, that's not. Yeah, no, that's not. We'll spend the rest of our resources on fuel then. Alright, now that's plenty. So let's go ahead and begin. We'll do a couple of explorations, and then, yeah. Hopefully we... Okay, we should be able to get out here. We should be able to get out here and then not quite make it back to Hyperzone, but maybe make it back to YMA. So let's head off. Ooh. Turn off our transponder a little early there. No big deal. let's see what we can find out here. So exploration is really nice. It's a really chill moneymaker. It doesn't take too much to get going, and it's fairly profitable so long as you're taking bounties, or you're taking, yeah, bounties and exploration missions that are grouped together. Ooh, low level warning beacon. Interesting. So that's pretty good. Where is this? It's just a barren world. Okay. I think that's the barren world. So a low-level warning beacon is pretty nice because it means what we're going to find is a bunch of these kinds of ships. They are... spoiler alert. These are remnant ships. The reason you want to fight these, especially in like low warning beacon worlds, is because they have really nice weapons and they're not too tough. Especially the larger ones. They usually have D-mods that will that'll make the fight even easier. But be warned, they do fight above their weight class. So treat frigates as destroyers, destroyers as cruisers, and cruisers as capital ships. Well, no. 2 cruisers is probably a capital ship. We'll go ahead and deploy our enforcer, jump in it, and eliminate this glimmer. We'll just spam it down with sabos. And we win the fight. See, as you can see, that's just a frigate, but it was able to get our flux up pretty significant. And we don't recover any weapons from that, but I believe the fight was still worth it. Okay. Are you gonna attack us? No, you're not. Okay. Let's go ahead and conduct this survey. Should. Cool. Okay. So this is what I was talking about. Being able to reduce our supply costs and our heavy machinery costs is really nice here. Crew and heavy machinery aren't consumed when you do the survey, but supplies are. So giving up 5 supply versus the whatever 50, let's say, is a very nice trade. So when you survey a planet, you reveal its affixes. These could be ore deposits, they can be farmland. What you're really looking for are ruins, and we end up finding some here. So after you discover ruins, you want to go ahead and explore them. And the way this works is based on your readiness. So if you have heavy machinery available and crew available, it'll increase the amount of resources that you find. Again, this doesn't apply to rare resources like blueprints, weapons, hull mods, but this does apply to the raw resources that you found. So things like supply, transphotonics, organics, it looks like. You get a multiplier for being above your being above the minimum effectiveness that you need. So we'll go ahead and leave. The way you can tell also that a planet will have ruins is if you see a lot of space debris around it. So are you looking for like these satellites or crash ships? And that's how you know you want to explore those. Like this one will have larger ruins because it has a denser trash field around it. So perform our survey. Find organics or farmland. Extensive ruins. This would be a good planet to survey, to colonize, which we'll get into way later down the line. So, oh, okay. If you see that, that's because I clicked establish colony. We don't have 1,000 crew to spare. So we begin our salvage. See what we can find. You'll also get. Ooh. Okay. We'll taking that. Nanoforge is really nice to find. So after you complete a survey, you'll get a piece of survey data. This doesn't serve any purpose in the base game, but I think there are certain mods that make factions more likely to colonize the planet that you sell data to. Alright. We have a lot of food here. Food is very cheap, so we'll probably end up dropping this first. But that's nice. Go ahead and leave. And we'll explore the last two systems before we planets before we leave this system. In a mining station. Nice. So we'll go ahead and begin salvage. Okay. Hyper Shunt Tap is nice. We won't really have a need for that for a long time. We'll take everything else, and then we'll start cutting the food. You want to salvage the dust. So yeah, on drive field, couple of moats. Learn your mod specs as you discover them, so that way they don't repeat. Let's see if we find anything else good. So there's no debris on this planet, so we shouldn't find any ruins. We're just doing the survey to get the planet data, then we'll head out. We will activate that comm relay. That's actually really nice. Let's head there first, actually. Activate it. If you do find comm relays in space, you could consider activating them, so that way you get fed real-time data from the rest of the core worlds. Not necessary. You can also salvage this if you wanted to. But that's just going to connect us back to the core worlds, and as you can see now, we're starting to get messages. Or missions, rather. And I don't think we want to take that one. It's a little bit outside of our scope. Oh, with Aug Drive Field. Let's say with Aug Drive Field, we also want to make sure that we can add that to the slowest ships in our fleet. So with a Monitor, an Enforcer, and an Apogee, I don't think we can win this fight. It's unfortunate. I did not expect to find this out here, but this is again why you bring ships. So if we had a bigger combat element to our exploration fleet, we could probably take this fight. But as is, I don't think we can. We'll just burn a story point and get out of here. Yeah, I don't think we can win this fight. I really want to explore that volcanic world. But yeah, we'll head out and go on to our next system, which is going to be over here. So we will disengage, doing special maneuvers. Sucks burning a story point like this, but it's the safest thing that we can do. We'll go ahead and get away from that and jump out. I wonder what that was. But anyway, we'll end the episode here. So we'll do a little exploring. I can do some more on camera, off camera. Let me know what you like to see. But it's basically, it'll be the same thing. If I do find anything significant, obviously I'll include it. But other than that, Grumpy out.